Hello and welcome back, YouTube. The car says hi. It's 8:50 p.m. Thursday, August 3rd, 2023, and I'm still delivering for Domino's Pizza. Thought I'd free up a little bit of space on Obamaphone 3 and shoot some video on here. God, it's going to be fun putting together the beginning of August since I'm shooting on just intermittently on 3 devices. The iPhone, Obamaphone 3, and the Blue phone. I haven't tried to free up any space on Obamaphone 5 because it's just so hideously awful. Obamaphone 5 has kind of become the designated device for doing Domino's Pizza on, though. And it's, it's problematic, but as messed up as the screen is on my iPhone right now, and then also with me being all out of data on my Mint Mobile plan, it's somehow less problematic than my iPhone right now. So, damn. Somehow ripped loose a scab on my elbow. I cut myself over the weekend on... Oh, I gotta turn left here. Oh, I'm probably braking too fast and losing points on that stupid Domino's Pizza app. I hate that thing. And this job isn't as disposable as I was wanting to think it is either, because, as I mentioned earlier, after taxes, 40 hours a week, and they're not offering overtime, only comes out to about $480 working for MLS. So, yeah, that's not enough to cover my bills, to say nothing of my debt. So yeah, I need this, at least for now. So, rolling around with no radiator fan tonight, which means I'm having to watch my temperature gauge like a hawk. And it also means I don't have much air conditioning, so it is miserable in this car right now. I am hot, I'm sweaty, I'm very uncomfortable. And keep wondering, what I did in a past life to deserve this, but anyway. Temperature gauge a little bit high right now, so yeah, I can't turn on the air yet. Which would be nice if I can roll down one window. And then this is a stretch that makes me so nervous with the Domino's Pizza app, because there's no posted speed limit on it. Like when I turn onto this from Washington, absolutely no posted speed limit. I have no idea what speed I can't exceed that causes me to lose points. I'm seriously thinking about doing Domino's Pizza over the app. I think I got a solid case, if for nothing else, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Like, seriously, it stresses the hell out of me. Wondering, am I putting my job at risk because I don't know what speed to drive here? Because basic safe driving would say I just match pace with the other cars. But I know that's gonna just destroy my driver's score to the point I lose my job. Now, right here is the first posted speed limit sign I hit. It says 55. Oh, and there's another thing. There's a poster there where it says that the app wants you to be going 3 under the speed limit. So, yeah, on a stretch of freeway where most everybody does about 65, I'm pretty much roped into doing 52, which is not safe driving. That literally makes me a road hazard, which is distressful. So tonight, aside from, the issue with the overheating car and not being able to use air conditioning resulting in overheating me, and then the stress that comes from the Domino's app, which I'm generally doing okay with. My scores actually yesterday were really good. And so far tonight, they're not awful. I forget what day it was awful. And it wasn't particularly good on Sunday either. Now, yesterday there was a lot of issues where runs weren't registered, and I really didn't get into a lot of details about how weird yesterday was, but I think I mentioned there was a driver who called in sick, we run a shoestring staff over here, so being down a driver at least last night was problematic. We got hit with a rush that lasted probably 2, maybe 3 hours. And there's this poster somewhere in the store that says that you should never leave with more than 2 pizzas at a time. I routinely leave with 3. But yesterday, at one point, I was sent out with 5. I still don't fully understand like this dispatching software, because sometimes I do some of the stuff myself, and then sometimes other people are doing it, and it just like things aren't being explained often in a way that I can understand it. And keep in mind, I am not neurotypical, so an explanation that will work for a lot of people is going to confuse me. So there's that. And is this guy going to stop at the stop sign? Yes, and that guy was stopped and not going. I saw a cop earlier just right through that when it was blinking. Personally, I wish they would have went with an overpass there, because that's the Grand Canal at crossing there at Hawk. It's for the Grand Canal multi-use pathway, which is supposed to be like a bicycle pedestrian highway of sorts. And even with the Hawk, it's sketchy crossing Thomas. So I really wish they'd have went with an overpass there. Not an underpass. Underpasses in the same neighborhood are nerve-wracking. Of course, sometimes so are overpasses. Anyway, I'm pulling up here. It's 8:56 right now. I'm scheduled to be off at 9, but one thing I'm finding out about this place is that the schedule is more of a suggestion than a rule that is followed. That driver that we just saw went in a vehicle. She's middle-aged Latina. I find her very, very attractive. She's probably married with grandkids, but a smoking hot body. I wouldn't be surprised if she also has kids older than our boss. Anyway, I'm here. I gotta get logged into the system and get my pizza bag in. Hopefully, I'm really getting off at 9, but I'm not that optimistic that I am. And I figured I'd be getting one more delivery. She did ask if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. So, although I'm really curious what her reaction would have been had I said no. I'm starting to get the feeling that she, and by she I mean Samantha, probably just thinks I'm a complete retard. And I guess depending on your definition of retard, you could say that I am. So I'm going back to the same place I just left, and I'm actually kind of happy about that, because even though it's really unnerving driving on the freeway, because I have to do a speed that's way, way slower than the flow of traffic, which is kind of unsafe, and that makes me nervous. At least I know if that causes an accident, I'm probably going to be sitting pretty money-wise when I explain why I was doing that speed. So KWSS has been coming in clear today. Speaking of KWSS, I listened to them for the first time today on HD radio. Now granted, I only got to listen to about a half a song on HD radio, but I took a picture of it, and they don't mention that they're on HD radio very often. Like, they usually mention 2 FM frequencies, but they rarely mention the 3rd HD radio frequency, which I had a trouble remembering, but I knew it was an HD2, and I knew it was like in the I knew it was either 94.5 or 95.5. Anyway, the first one, and I can't remember which one it is at this point, but the first one that I checked, it wasn't it at HD2, and I know it wasn't it because when I went to its HD2, I hit a simulcast of KOY AM, or maybe it was, I don't know, it's like a talk radio, an AM talk radio. I hit a simulcast of it. this is the most nerve-wracking one here. To get down to stuff off of Van Buren, Washington, Jefferson, in that general area, I've got to come over to this lane across the lane that goes to I-10 West and the lane that goes to 202, while trying to maintain a speed of 52 miles per hour when, as you see, the traffic flow is much faster than that. Fortunately, there's not too much traffic right now, but it puts me in a position where I have to merge in front of people while I'm going much slower than them. And as a general rule, like, I don't do that. But I'm already having issues with the app. Like last run, you've got to, I think you have to have 92 or above. And I think my last one I only scored 90. And instead of being green, it was like yellow as opposed to red, which means I did very bad. And I'm pretty convinced that the reason it's thinking of constantly braking is just because my Android Go phone, my UMX phone, Obamaphone 5, is so low resource that it's struggling really hard to run the Amazon delivery app. I'm sure whoever developed that app, people who develop apps tend to have really nice phones. It's just kind of how it works. And so I'm sure they were testing it on really nice phones. Recent iPhones and flagship or recent flagship Samsung Galaxies and probably LGs. They're not checking to see if it runs on an absolute bottom of the barrel government program free phone that doesn't even run a full version of Android, but instead runs Amazon Go. Nobody's checking to see if it works in that environment. But the reality is that somebody who's delivering pizza is probably so desperate financially. There's a good chance that person is desperate enough financially that they're using that kind of a phone. I know I am. And I think what's happening is when the app freezes or whatever, I think it's giving erroneous signals, like as if I'm slamming on my brakes. Because, y'all see how I'm driving, and I'm driving like I normally do, other than, a whole lot slower. And I'm not jamming on my brakes. It's, generally speaking, not something that I do. But, boy, you couldn't tell that to look at my driver's score. It really is stressful. I think this app qualifies as intentional infliction of emotional distress. And I'm contemplating applying to deliver pizza for a company that just doesn't use this shit. Because I enjoy delivering pizza, but this app is highly distressful for me. And seriously, why should pizza delivery involve an app? Print the addresses on the she looks like she cleaned up nice. Yeah, just the addresses are on the ticket. I was delivering pizzas long before there was such a thing as a smartphone and an app. That's Lofts at 10, which is the old Holiday Inn. I had a delivery there earlier today, and now I'm back here. This is called Sunset Suites, I think, or Sunset Apartments, or Sunset Lofts, something like that. Sunset Sound Apartments. This is the old Motel 6. And Michael W. Now it's funny. So supposedly one of the perks of the app is that it'll show you the address where your delivery is, but a lot of times it doesn't show the apartment number, and in this case it doesn't. Wow, I don't have an apartment number. Maybe if I'm lucky it's for the security guy. Oh shit. I need to turn my air conditioning off. My air overheating is. Car's not overheating, but the temperature gauge is starting to ride a little high. I was coming here the other day. There was a security guard here that was being kind enough to tell me where I was going. Yeah, I don't have an apartment number here. Well, that's problematic. I better shut off my car so it doesn't overheat. So this app is supposed to have a function where it calls the customer, but every time I And it's that button there shaped like a phone. Every time I hit it, though, it never works. It gets me to that screen. It says connecting, but it never works. Just this phone goes silent. I think whatever processing it needs to do to route a call that way, which I'm sure is voice over IP, it just, either the service doesn't have the bandwidth or the phone doesn't have the processing power to do it. Yeah, it still says connecting. Now it says failed to connect, and then it gives me a pop-up. It gives me that pop-up that says, failed to connect, your call cannot be placed at this time. Please use the phone number provided by the customer to place the call through your phone's dialer. It does that every time. Phone dialer. This phone is so difficult to use. It's just so... There really needs to be some standards in the Lifeline phone program for what constitutes an adequate phone for the program, because this really doesn't. I'm dialing the number here. Sure would have been helpful if we put a phone number or apartment number on his order. Of course, I should have noticed this before I even left with it, because I did see the address, and I even told. It is, yeah, Domino's Pizza. Okay, there are no buildings on the right. There's a brick wall to the right, and there's all buildings on the left. I'm like, wait, the buildings on the right are a different apartment complex. That's the old Holiday Inn. You're in the old Motel 6. Hello? Oh, I lost him. He said he was coming down to me. I better shut off my car so it doesn't overheat. Wherever he was coming from, he could see me, but I couldn't see him.
Center for Kids Who Can't Read. Good. 93.9, 99.5, Indie Radio, KWSS.
Or what? Well, I don't know how much of that this audio, this recording caught, but that guy was a complete asshole. And he said he was up, like he hung up on me. I could have sworn he said he was coming down to get me. There was no apartment number given on the order. If there was an apartment number, I would have never called the man. I don't like talking on the phone. He wanted to argue with me over there about whether or not there was an order. I said, you can look at the slip. There's no order apartment number on my slip. He goes, well, I don't care about that. I just want my food. But yeah, he says standing up on the. He's like, you're just standing by the car. I said, yeah. You said you were coming down to get your food. He goes, no, you're supposed to bring it up to me. I'm up here. I said, well, I don't know where you are. He goes, I'm up here waving my arms. I said, I can't see you. I can't. I couldn't see anybody on that landing waving arms. I mean, I can kind of see shadows of people if there's light behind them. I can see doors, I can see lights, but I can't see. Awfully bold of him to assume what I can and can't see. What a dick. So that car that approached, and I'm not sure if video caught that either, probably it didn't because I was facing the building. So there's a vehicle that approached, and I thought it might be the person coming with the pizza. We'll come to find out it was Marlene. That's the name of the woman I mentioned a little bit ago. This is very, very attractive, older Latina. I say older. When I see a woman that I think looks older, that usually means she's 10 years younger than me. I could be wrong. She might be older than me, but I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest to learn that she's in her mid-40s. Anyway, she pulled up and asked what was going on, and I explained to her what was going on. That yeah, I didn't have an apartment number on the order. And then I asked her how long she lived in Phoenix and if she could remember that being Motel 6. And she didn't tell me how long she lived in Phoenix, but yeah, she seemed really surprised when I told her that it was Motel 6. And then she said she lived there. I'm assuming she's probably closing tonight. Because I'm certainly not. In fact, I'm 30 minutes past my end time. But I did say I'd take this order. Didn't expect it was going to be, oh shit, I'm doing almost 60. There goes my driver's score. And I'm still getting passed by everybody. Click the thing saying I finished my delivery. I don't know, to me, just having somebody that's got a driving job, making them have to pay attention to anything beyond their driving is creating an unsafe environment. To me, everything about this Domino's Pizza delivery experience app is just creating an unsafe environment. It's not helpful. It doesn't connect me to people when it's supposed to. And it didn't have his phone number in the app either. Like, I had to look that up on the delivery ticket. So I'm kind of intrigued by Marlene living there. That would kind of imply that she's probably single. Although I had a really weird discussion with her a few days ago. She was asking why I had 4 different phones, what I needed 4 phones for. I give a lot of random reasons for it. Sometimes I just say it's complicated, because it is. But one of the reasons I like to give, which isn't something I've done yet, but it's something I think about doing all the time. It takes 4 cameras to shoot something from 4 different angles. Or to shoot something simultaneously from 4 different angles. Shoot video simultaneously. I hope I phrased it better than that. If I didn't, that would explain why she looked at me so weird. But I think I said something like to shoot video from 4 different angles requires 4 different cameras. And I've told people I'm an amateur cinematographer as well, which isn't, depending on how you define cinematographer, that's not a lie. I mean, shit, how many hours of video do I shoot a day at this point? And to be completely bluntly honest, what I would love to do, and I'm sure some of my viewers are going to be absolutely horrified by this, but what I would love to do is shoot amateur adult video from multiple angles. That would just be awesome. But Obviously, I have to find someone else interested in helping me with that project. And I get the feeling that Marlene is not that person. But, and of course I didn't say that. I just said, video. But anyway, I'm back. I really hope she cashes me out and just has me go home. I was really enjoying it. And that guy gave me a bit of a tip. I don't think it was really intentional. Yeah, it was $29.27. He gave me $30. But probably just because he realizes I don't carry coin change. But God, that whole situation was so annoying. Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So I'm off. I'm cashed out. It's 9:42 p.m. Still Thursday night, August 3rd. So my birthday lands on a Sunday. I told Samantha I'd be spending my birthday with her. She didn't seem too enthused. She's like, "Oh, is today your birthday?" I said, "No, Sunday." I have no plans. Whoa, Jesus Christ! Wow, that guy's yelling at me. He's the one cutting corners like a fucking maniac. Wow. I'm tired. I'm just going home. Part of me really wants to sing some karaoke. Dang, my car temperature gauge is all running up high again. Yeah, part of me really wants to sing some karaoke, and I'm like half mile away from the Hideaway. I don't know where I'm sitting money-wise. Like, I know my rent's paid. I got that. I got a money order. It's going to lawn in the morning. Still got to deal with Cox. I still got to deal with SRP, my electric bill. That is SRP, by the way. SRP is my electric bill. That sounded like I was saying two different things. I think that's it. Just Cox, my Cox bill, which is my internet in Robbinsville. In fact, I should pay the overdue portion of my bill as soon as I get home. So yeah, I probably shouldn't be wasting any money. I just got my first paycheck from Domino's. I wasn't expecting that to happen tonight. At one point I had them explain when the payday was, and it was like, they lost me at bi-weekly. Once they said it was bi-weekly, I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know how many days actually showed up on this check. Oh, and I got a green light, so I'm not going to be looking at it right now. Man, I was having a really good night with the deliveries. Like, everybody had been so cool. All the people I delivered to have been really nice and appreciative, and most everybody had tipped. My next to last one, which is also in the old Motel 6, that guy didn't tip at all, but he was still super friendly. Kind of struggled with finding the location because it said it was in the C building, but when I was looking up at the sign for the building, I didn't see a C on that sign. I saw an O. Now maybe if my eyes were better, I would have seen a C, but it just absolutely looked like an O to me. But of course, they've got the sign way high above the second level instead of down, ground level where people are walking and can see it. And they don't have lighting aimed at it. They have lighting behind it and to the side of it, making it harder to see. Actually, you know what? That's not true. He did tip me. I stand corrected. Actually, I would say he tipped me really well now that I think about it. Wow, now I'm being the asshole. The reason I was thinking he didn't tip me was because it was one of those write-in on a credit card tip. And he didn't write anything in, but come to think of it, he gave me $3 cash. So that's some guy going north, no headlights. Yeah, that's better than a write-in tip any day. Yeah, I just want to go home and go to bed. I'm exhausted. I was actually dozing off the last couple hours over at work at the rental car center. My Chianti kept shit, I didn't get my sip and save drink today. Oh shit, I gotta at least do that, right? I've about had it with that Circle K over at 40th Street in McDowell. I'm just gonna stick on Thomas up to 48th. All these red lights aren't doing good things to my temperature gauge. Now, radiator fan, when I'm sitting at a red light, I have no airflow going through my radiator to cool the coolant. Hello again, YouTube. So, yeah, Obamaphone 3 ran out of space driving down Thomas, which I guess is to be expected. That one video down to the old Motel 6 to drop the pizza was a lot longer than I thought it was going to. That guy was so shitty, but I don't think he understood that not only was he wasting his own time, he was wasting my time. I'm just still thinking about that. Like, he was so pissed when I called him back, because I'd been sitting there waiting for 3 minutes. I thought he said he was coming down to get it. Like, he said he saw me. Even if he didn't say he was coming down, like, I never said I saw him. He said he saw me. Which kind of goes hand in hand with, okay, I see you, I'm coming to you. I never said that I saw him because I never did see him. I mean, keep in mind, he was telling me it was a building on the right, and coming into the entrance, there was no buildings on the right. There were multiple buildings on the left, and a center block wall on the right. So I guess that tells me what I was working with. I was dealing with the person that has such low intellect, he doesn't know his right from his left. So I guess at this point I shouldn't be surprised of his other stupidity. But yeah, hypothetical situation. I'm up on a balcony, and I got off the phone with somebody, and I think that somebody's coming up to me. Never mind the fact that I never said I could see him, and that I never said I was coming up to him. But if for some reason I thought that was happening, and I was standing up on a second floor balcony, and I was waving my arms in the air, and I was watching this person who had my food, and 3 minutes went by, I'm sure long before 3 minutes would have passed, I would have realized he wasn't coming up there, and I would walk down to get my damn food. Or I would have maybe called his phone number back and been like, hey, are you coming up here? Because he was so pissed off when I called him the second time. He was super rude on the phone. And, yeah, you're just standing down there by the car. Yeah, I'm still waiting for you, dude. I don't know, still completely perplexed by that. Like if I wanted food and I saw the guy that had it and he wasn't approaching me, I'd be going down to get my food. Simple as that. I'm ready to go home and call it a night. I didn't get nearly enough sleep last night. I was dozing off while Keontae was driving. Holy shit. Can you please turn off your freaking brights? Yeah, there was at least once or twice where Keontae was driving, what they call the shag, and I was, getting in and out of cars, moving him around, and he and I just straight up, like, I leaned the seat back and I just fell asleep hard. Like, at one point I was working on editing video. On that note, it's mostly done. It's been like 2 days since I've uploaded it, and I still have another chapter of January 11th to do after that one. Oh my lord. Yeah, trying to edit that, and hoping I could get that finished in time to upload it, like from the rental car center Wi-Fi before I leave, or maybe Domino's Wi-Fi when I get there. But yeah, it's still not edited. But yeah, I got to the point I was just straight up dozing off in the car working on that. I just put it down so I didn't completely fuck it up. Leaned the seat back, closed my eyes, and that's all she wrote. I think he probably did 2 rounds up and down. Manual move cars. I was just snoozing it in the fucking shag. Yeah, I'll finish that video, feed the cats, give them some actual wet food, because I know that's what they've been begging for. And call it a night. Doing the same thing tomorrow. Domino's check is a lot larger than I expected it to be. That's a good thing. But yeah, do that. Same thing. My usual 8 to 4:30 at the rental car center, followed by 6 to 9 at Domino's. 13-hour workday. Ouch. Oh, on that note, I think I figured out how I'm losing so many cards, which doesn't make me feel like I'm going to find them. I've noticed when I put 2 phones, it doesn't seem to happen when I put 1 phone, but when I put 2 phones in my back pocket, I pull 2 phones out, sometimes they will pinch cards that are in my back pocket, particularly my back left pocket, and pull them out, and then they slip out from between the phones. I did that at least twice today and realized I was doing it. That's another thing I had to deal with, replacing both my debit cards, my Costco card, and I noticed I'm also missing my Human Services campus card. Not that I've had any time to go there or any real reason to go there at this point, but regardless. Oh, damn it. I left a lightning cable over at Domino's. I suppose that's not a really big deal, but still sucks. I expect it'll be there tomorrow. I got faith in Domino's. Speaking of Domino's, I got to bring home 3 pieces of pepperoni pan pizza with me tonight. I do like getting free pizza from work. That's a good thing. Anyway, thanks for coming with me on the ride. I'm ready to go in and enjoy my air conditioning. It's still hot as hell out here, and it's super muggy too.